underrated show on the World Wide Web. I am your host, Mr. Rob G. And as always, we're going to be digging into the topics to keep you talking and the talk that keeps you thinking. So come on in, kick your feet up, get an ice cold beverage, get ready to join the conversation. A lot of things going on right over here at the Social Dig. There's some stuff I want to go into that we'll end up talking about tonight. I actually have some things that I have set up. You may have seen the promo, you may have not, but we'll be talking about that a little bit. And we'll have some general conversation as well. You're welcome to jump in at any time. You see the link in the chat. You can definitely call in the call-in line, which let me go ahead and bring that up here, is 856-843-3444, or that is 856-THE-DIGG. Make sure you put that in your phone because you can always call that. You don't have to wait for tonight or for any call-in show. You can definitely call that number just to say, hey, Rob G, what's going on? Or, hey, Rob G, I just saw this. Or, hey, Rob G, here's my experience, and leave the experience on the voicemail. And that'll kind of go into what I'm preparing for with this new series that I'm setting up. So we'll get into that in just a moment. Let me go ahead and see who came in here. I know there's really nobody in here yet. We got Magneticus who is here. We got Van Gogh. We got Crystal J for now because I haven't done these. So I know everybody will trickle in a minute here. But with that being said, we're still going to cover what we need to cover here. May not be too long of a show. We'll see how it all turns out. We'll get in, we'll get out. And I just really want to talk about this because I plan on going with this new series. I'm actually talking to people, and this is a series based around viewers like yourself. Not necessarily a person who specializes in this particular field or who has all these books. We're looking to talk to people who have had encounters with the phenomenon. So that could be you, that could be anyone that you know, and you are all welcome to come on as a guest on this show. So I'll outline it. The Social Dig will stay the Social Dig. We'll talk more about that. But I definitely want to thank everybody for coming on in and checking us out here. Awesome show at the after hours. If you were there, if you weren't there, definitely want to go over there and check it out. We had Costa Macrease, and just my kind of guy, man. He was talking a lot of the stuff that I talk about here at the Social Dig, and then also what I try to bring to the after hours, that part of the conversation, right? Some people don't like it. Some people don't like the real part of the conversation, and we can talk some more about that too, because I think I kind of laid it out, but we'll jump into that discussion here. Just want to go ahead and thank everybody for coming in. Just show the gratitude of what it is that we're doing here. So with that being said, we are here, and a couple things that I just wanted to go over here is the direction that I'm trying to go, or that I would like to go with the channel. So I have the Social Dig, and obviously I want to keep that as is, as far as being able to cover specific aspects of the phenomena and kind of in a presentation form. As you guys, if you've ever checked out one of the normal shows, then you kind of know how that format is. I don't know if I can show you while we're on. Let me see if I can flip through actually to the Social Dig, right? Okay, so this is the Social Dig, right? And we have, as you see here, the topics across the bottom of the screen. And I want to keep doing this, right? Because we still need the news, usually a great topic afterwards, and then history within Once Upon a Time in Ufology, and then the science fiction, science fact. So I think that's a great formula. I want to keep that going. But here on the late night show, we've had some great conversations here. And I don't know how I want to do this. Like the show that I've just set up, the new series I'm trying to work with, will have elements of what we do here on the late night show. So in fact, depending on what it looks like, it may be something that just overtakes the late night call-in show, because I may implement a call-in option for this other show, or they just may all exist independently. So kind of wanted to, give the people that did come at least a sneak peek at what we're looking at and kind of the direction that I would like to go. Let me just bring up graphic here. So, because the social dig is more of a informational sort of entity in the way that information is presented, I think that still has a good place, so we keep that like that. And then I wanted to focus specifically, separately from that show, on experiencers and just the experiencer's story. Um, maybe not necessarily in an interview format, but more of just being able to have someone come up, tell their story, and do it like that. Maybe have two or three different people per episode. I'm still kind of juggling that, whether it be one person focus on that. This show would only be about an hour long, maybe 45 minutes, something along those lines. So it would support enough time to support at least one good viewer, maybe two, to kind of have them share one episode. But it really depends on how many people end up signing up to come on, right? Because there's millions, I would think, of experiences out there. So there's enough people to go around. But we'll see who actually responds to it to determine how often or how many people would be able to appear on an episode. But this is the promo work that I'm working on, some of the graphic stuff. So let me go ahead and bring this up here. All right. So this is the show that I'm creating here, which is my experience with the phenomena. And what I thought about doing was, because I obviously have all this stuff going on with the phenomena. I was going to make the first episode about the stuff that I'm going through, and then kind of go from there with some of people I've talked to, some of you behind the scenes that are ready to go on this. And so we'll be setting those up. I want to keep it a live show because the interaction aspect, and I still want people to be able to interact with whoever is telling their story. So I think that would still be good to go live. So that is the intent. Trying to do this. I want to do this episode tomorrow, the very first episode, but I want to get some feedback, right? Because you guys are here all the time, and you have supported me on this journey here at the Social Dig. Even though we are growing slowly, but we are growing, and that's I think the positive thing to look at is that there's enough people to feel that there is value in the conversations that are had. The knock on wood, thank God that the subscriber number goes up and rarely goes down, right? So that means something is being done right, I would think. And here's the thing, right? I find in this field, a lot of people, when it comes to the real conversations, there's only a certain group of people that really want to have those conversations. And those are the people that I'm looking for, right? Because I would not, I don't see a real benefit in having a person subscribe that isn't willing to get into the conversation, or isn't willing, not really to get in the conversation, but isn't willing to look past disclosure and kind of what happens next. Like I need some people want to sit around and just hear a great story, and that's fine too. Sometimes that's cool. But then what moves the needle though, right? And I think it's those tough conversations. As you jump back in season one of the Social Dig, you'll see a million of those conversations you probably wouldn't see on other channels. But a perfect example is tonight, Costa and Macris, and the type of people that I like to try to bring on to after hours are people that'll have those conversations. And you see how fruitful those things are, right? Because at the end of the conversation, you feel like maybe you know where to go from here, or you formulated some own. It's got you thinking, and you're formulating your own ideas in your mind, and that's a beautiful thing, because that's what we need to have at the end of every conversation. That's why the motto here is the topics that keep you talking and the talk that keeps you thinking, because it's that part of it that is going to help figure this thing out, right? So That's why I trust you guys. I want to kind of present this to you guys so you know exactly what I'm trying to do. So, my experience with the phenomena, would you be speaking from your perspective? So, it's really your experience with the phenomena, and you come on and you tell a story or stories about, experiences that you've had with the phenomena, whether it's paranormal, whether it's UFOs, whether it's cryptids, anything related to the phenomena. Uh, is what I'm looking for. So if you have those stories, I posted something in the community tab. So if you go to the community tab, you will see where I posted this and where you can actually reply to it. And that's where you want to go to say, hey, I'm interested in doing this. And then we'll connect at that point. You can call me on the phone line or you can reach me on Facebook as well on the Facebook Messenger. I'm on there all the time and on Twitter. So you can get me there too at Mr. Rob G. But yeah, just looking for people that want to come on and talk about their experience. And I've created, I'm working on the intro and everything. So this all will be dependent on, I'm probably going to finish working on this tonight so we can have a show to go tomorrow. But let me show you what else do I have from here? Okay, yeah. So this is it right here, right? So this is the new series. Come and share your experience with the phenomena. Sign up today. Also, if you haven't already, consider subscribing over at youtube.com/Mr. Rob G. The reason why I did, or even considering this, is because I think the social dig itself, obviously, is a larger umbrella. And, there are more topics that present issues for humanity outside of ufology. So I didn't want to simply make that show only for things that have to do with ufology, but we'll still talk about it there. It's just, I still want to be able to touch other things like Scientology and all the other topics that we discussed. So this would be more phenomena based and focused, and everything that you hear from this show will be something related to the phenomenon. So this is what we're looking at. Let me see who else is coming to the chat. I know I should have announced this at the end of the show, but I forgot I had this set up. Let me see. Maggie M10, thank you for coming on in. We appreciate you showing up. And doop, 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 doop. Okay, and that's it for now. We got a few lurkers, and that's cool because we have viewers that will be seeing this on Twitter as well. So if you're on Twitter, shout out to you guys over there. If you have the time, and if you are on YouTube, I definitely would appreciate you, the Twitter viewers, if you wouldn't mind just clicking the link and coming over to YouTube, hitting that subscribe. Doesn't matter where you watch it from, but the algorithm over here on YouTube, it would be great if I could get some of that over here. Oh, and I finally hit 400. Oh, is that right? Let me check that, Maggie. M10. Is that the case? Because if so, I think that's a beautiful thing. And I am at 400. Thank you so much for that, too. And I'm glad I'm able to even sit here and talk about that because if everyone who's been on this ride, Magneticus knows he's been here since one subscriber, two. I started out with like 8, but he's been here since then, and so he knows the journey that we've been on, and we've been consistent. Right, Magnetic can vouch for that. We've consistently come here and done a show as if we've had a million viewers. Right, no difference in the quality of content, no difference in the passion behind the message. So I'm really happy about that, right? Might be a small goal to someone, but it's actually when you talk about the real conversations that we have to know that there's 400 people out there that are willing to engage in a conversation like that, tackle the real stuff that really kind of is going to help move this thing. That's very valuable because you can have thousands of subscribers, but if they aren't tuned into the message and the what the whole goal is, then it's almost like they're not there, right? Because they don't even participate in the content. We have a pretty good ratio of views to when you look at our subscriber numbers, the views are usually always over 100, 100, 150, and the like percentage is always over 10%, which if you look on YouTube, you're doing cool if you get, uh, you know, uh, uh, I'd say 10% of your total viewers watching the show, right? So on a 400 subscribers show, acceptability to some people would be 10% of that, which would be 40 views or 40 viewers. We exceed that here. And then the like ratio to viewers is usually around 10% as well. So you would figure on 40 views, you should get about 4 likes. So, with the 150 views, if we hold to that, then you're looking at least 15 likes. But the viewers that come, and that's why organic growth is the best, because the people that come and actually hit the subscribe are people that want to subscribe, and that's what I want. I don't want ghost numbers or bots or any of that. So in that note, it's like if you're looking at it at that angle, then the channel is actually doing pretty good when it comes to the engagement of the subscriber base. So I really appreciate you guys for doing that and really just being able to have this conversation, right? So I want to show you the intro. I'm working on this right now. This is for the new show. And shoot, at 400 subs, if we keep going, this is the new era, right? But we're gonna keep it the same, but we're making changes. So let me show you the intro that we're working on, or that I'm working on, and let me know what you think. Let me get this out of here. Let me remove this and play this. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna run it a couple times. Let me know what you think. And act like I can't act. Okay, here we go.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn, no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home. It sucks, I've had enough, I don't wanna feel the stuck under the rug, all my problems that I shove. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
All right, so that's what we're working on for the show. Just a whole nother vibe, right? Really more focused towards the element of and actually let me bring this up here, of the phenomena. So this is just light work, right? So this is be the way this all looks. If I can get this all set up. So working on it, getting the background together. As you can see here, title of the show, whatever we're talking about, will be listed here in the box below. Let me see if you can see this. Okay, let me back this out here. Okay. So there is I don't know if I can get you to see this. Let me remove myself for a moment. There's a few different themes that we're working with on here, but I think it brings a whole different vibe, whole different feeling to the show, and for this particular show. And let me go ahead and take a look here. Hey, Jessica S. Thanks for coming on in. Appreciate you showing up. Brown Dwarf, same to you. And Brown Dwarf, we definitely got to get you on one of these episodes here. Um, let's see. Yeah. It shouldn't sound like that, Magneticus. That I think that was just the playback here, but I've listened to it plenty of times, and it's bumping. This sounds really good. So maybe in that playback it did that. It could be the stream. I don't know, but the audio is actually really good on it. Um, I'll get you the name. I'll get you the name, Jennifer. Can't think of them at right now, but let me see. Yep, let's go ahead and run it again for anyone who may have missed it. But this is the new show, my experience with the phenomena. So I want to do the first episode on Monday tomorrow. It should be able to do it, but I want to do it right, so I don't want to rush it. So tomorrow's show, just keep an eye out, just keep the notification bell hit. That way, if something changes, if I push this show out a few days because the content isn't done, then you'll know, right? And then, like I said again, on the community tab page of this channel, this I have this posted there, and anyone who wants to come on and talk about their experience, you're welcome. You don't have to have credentials or anything. You don't have to be part of any group. It could be just you, the viewer, and come on and talk about your experience with the phenomena. It may be a show where you share the stage with a couple different people who are also giving their experiences. But that's the direction that we're trying to go. And here goes the intro again here. Let's go.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home. It sucks, I've had enough, I don't wanna feel the stuck under the rug, all my problems that I shove. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
Yes. So yeah, that's the flavor we're going with. I guess we'll just continue to use this backdrop for the rest of. Actually, let me flip back over here in a minute. But yeah, I want to share with you guys first, right? Just see if we get a stamp of approval. What are we looking? Are we going in the right direction? Is this something that you would take a part in? Would you come on? I've already got a few yeses from viewers that you all know, and so let me know if this is something that you would do or not. Let me go ahead and check the chat here. Who would come on and tell their story? Okay, I like that. Aloha, Dave. First 5 seconds, good job. Appreciate that. Jessica S loves the bumper music. Appreciate that. Yeah. And I think in contrast to the work that we're doing over on After Hours, contrasted with what we're doing here with just the regular social dig, and then this show, I think all these different elements would definitely, fit and help. Let me see. Dragonfly, thanks for coming on in. Appreciate you showing up. Let's see. Kind of just looking at some stuff for this new show that I'm trying to set up, Dragonfly, called My Experience with the Phenomena. And if you, Dragonfly, yourself, if you have an experience with phenomena and you would like to come on to talk about it, this show is exactly for that. So don't feel that you don't have enough credentials or don't even worry about that. I'm specifically looking for just the average person who has had experiences with the phenomena. And I really really hope that we get a lot of people signing up because I think this could be a good thing here. Let's see. Human data. Human data. Hey, thanks for coming on in. Brand new name. I appreciate you showing up. Yeah, definitely appreciate it. So if you haven't already considered it, if you wouldn't mind hitting that sub button, that notification bell, and yeah, we do some really good stuff over here, have some great conversations, and they're gonna keep going, right? I don't want it to be, a strict, like a hardcore interview type of show. I want it to be more like, we kick back with you and you tell the stories, right? And I may come in and say a few things, but would not really be like interview format if we can help it. More so just being able to sit back and just listen to people's experiences with the phenomena, because mines have been freaky, creepy, documented, and it's crazy. And that's kind of what I'm going to go over on the first episode, is just the things that I've been going through. So a lot of you guys have already seen what I'm dealing with here, and so I just want to put that all together concisely on a neat little show, and make that kickoff and be the first episode. Christine is out. Night, Christine. Okay, good night, Christine. Thanks for coming on in. Appreciate you showing up. We do appreciate you showing up. Yes. Yeah. So Maggie, so is asking, so is that paranormal phenomena? It's everything under the what we understand as phenomena, right? So paranormal, anything, any of the subjects that are related to phenomena is what I would like to show, because let's show people how many stories are really out there, like how many people are really having experiences with the phenomena. And what's driven me to do this is there you go, you got it, anxiety. Yes, Allah Dave has it. So yeah, let's show people how many people are really having this experience. And what's driven me to do this is my own experiences, right? Because I've been shown that all this stuff is real. So it's something that I'm willing to devote time into as far as framing it, because I know it's real. I'm seeing this stuff. I'm getting recorded stuff. I'm getting all this evidence. So I know what's happening to me, and I would love to hear what's happening to you, right? So that's the biggest part of it. So we go ahead and bring this back up here. This is really all about this here. My experience with the phenomena. I think that's going to be a cool thing to do. Let me see. Yeah. So I think that's going to be awesome. Let me see. Let me get down the list here. So Lovey Love, you came up on camera before, so you're open. All you guys are open. So let's see. Yep, Aloha Dave, you're good. Sign me up. I got a story. If you could, Aloha Dave, if you're on Facebook, if you could message me on the messenger, because I need to put the list together. I want to get like at least 10 different people to sign up or more, so we have a little pipeline to go ahead and put out some of these episodes. That way I can know if it's going to be worth having more than one person per episode, or it really depends on how many people sign up. If you do 2 per episode and only 10 people sign up, then that's 5 episodes. And so, but if it's 1 person per episode, obviously that doubles the amount of content that we could put out. So it just really depends on who signs up. So if I could get people to sign up, really either on the community tab page here on the channel, or um, or on Facebook would be a really great place to do so. And Lovey Love, I mean, she's right. I promised to bring you the goods, so um, I'm always trying to. Oh, and let me thank you for this. Human Data is the 401 sub, and I appreciate you. This has been a long road, pushing for, strictly doing this out my heart, and just my passion to see humanity get to that right place. That's the reason why I do this. Maggie M10 has been around for at least a year, maybe more, and she knows as well, like what the the feeling is behind this, and that it's that is genuine, the mission that we're on, and just the want to see humanity come together and do the right thing, and us get to disclosure, because that means that once we get there and get to the other side, things change for us, and I want to see us get there. So I do appreciate you, Human Data, for being that 401st sub. Won't let you down, I promise you that. And let me go ahead and we got a guy in the back. You know who it is. It is
Yeah,
Matt. It's Attractus. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing good, man. It's been a long time, man. I'm glad to be
I
here in
know.
a minute,
You know,
dude.
I was sitting there thinking earlier. I was like, I don't think I ever got to share my little road trip to Hanford the last time, did I?
Nah, nah. You can go ahead and
Oh, oh man. So the wife, she all like, look at that, and I'm like, what? And I look to my right, and here comes a C-130, just like barely over the tree line down in the valley, right? I mean, it was actually down in the valley, but I mean, it was just barely above the trees. And it comes swooping in over the dam. And then all of a sudden, here comes the second one, except for the second one was hot dogging a lot more than the first one. But man, he came in, swung across the lake, banked up by the trees, came back over the lake, and followed in the other guy. You'd be surprised how much weird stuff you see in the mountains sometimes with these guys.
C-130. That's the
Transport.
transport, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
those are transports.
yeah. It's
Those are
huge.
ones they can. That's the ones they can just open up the tailgate and dump out whatever they want to dump out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I can't remember
tanks.
what all it. Yeah, exactly. Whatever
So
they want to throw out at you,
I used to
huh?
live in Sacramento. I stayed by this closed down Air Force base, Mather Air Force Base. And I used to work right next to it. And so on lunch, we used to be able to go there and we'd see, planes like that land. And that C-130 it's crazy because it's so big. And I saw it taking off, and it seems like it's not even moving, like it's going so
Right?
slow, and it gets in the air and then it starts banking off to the right, and I'm like, this is gonna fall out the sky. Like, it can't be
Nope.
moving fast enough to stay up, and that thing just took off and kept going. I was like, dude, that is crazy.
Yeah, if they're not carrying much, they can go slow. They don't really got to go that fast anyways because they got big old wings out there.
Yeah, them
So
things are huge, man. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's why I say, living by or working by the Air Force Base, I would see all type of stuff all the time.
right,
Actually, they just during the storms down south a few weeks ago, they actually flew all of their military planes from Oklahoma to that base to kind of store them till the storms passed. But we had
right,
everything flying in there, everything you could think, everything they had from over there. They moved to this base that I'm talking about for like a week or two. But it was
right.
awesome. You don't get much contact or activity there because they shut it down 20, 30 years ago. Like, it's supposed to be a shutdown base.
Right, but they still got the runways and stuff, so they can still use them. I mean,
And I
it's not
think
hard to bring
they
them up to
reactivate those
operational
during,
standards.
and they reactivate
Yeah,
them during wartime or something like that. So that's
right.
keep the maintenance up on them. Yeah, but we have two of those like that. We have McClellan Air Force Base and Mather. Both of those, they closed them both down. But yeah, they do
You
keep
know,
them
you know
spec.
the difference between a fort and a base.
What is that?
Yeah, I got asked that question a long time ago, and I didn't know the difference. I was just like, they both house military. I didn't really know the difference. A
Hmm.
fort is usually only belongs to the Army. A base usually belongs to the Navy or the Air Force.
Okay, okay, okay. I
So that's the
see.
biggest difference between a fort and a base.
Vanta Black, thank you for coming on in. Do appreciate you showing up here, Vanta. 7:55 a.m. here. I wonder where that is in the world. It's got to be UK,
Seven
maybe.
fifty five.
Yeah, maybe.
7:55. It's not
Hmm.
Australia because right
Wow.
now they would be in the afternoon,
Yeah, where are
right?
you at,
Maggie,
Vanta? Let us know. Yeah, I think it's like 6 hours behind us, 6, 7 hours or something like that. But it's the next day. But that's how I calculate the time. I just go back like 7 hours. Oh,
yeah,
Vanta's
they would be in.
nice. We appreciate you coming in. We do. And yeah, just to let you know, we have tough conversations here. So I don't know if you've had a chance to check out anything here, and you're catching this like on a live show. So we're kind of just freelancing and just talking right now. But generally, we have a show that we put together with really informative information. Our late night talk show here, call in show, will usually have a great topic and some really deep conversation. So you can check out like our previous episode was really great conversation with Puck Elf. And yeah, so yeah, thanks for coming in. We do appreciate you doing that. And I
No, I
love
missed
seeing your names.
that conversation
Oh
when
my
Puck
god,
Elf was in here.
you gotta watch it.
I mean, I watched it later, but I
Oh, you
mean, I said, uh, I'm saying it was one of those I wish I could have interacted with. You know what I mean?
yeah, definitely. I was
Yeah,
wondering where you were.
like some of the audience don't remember when it was just literally me, you, and Mateo. I mean, there was a couple other people, but I can't remember their names right now.
I think Maggie's
I
been around since then. I think Maggie's been here since then because I see her name in the.
mm, she
I
came
think
in later. I mean, I have to look at the old list because I remember sending you an Excel list or something, or a spreadsheet list or something with names
look,
on it.
you can find
Because
out right.
remember, I was huh?
You can find out right now. Ask her, Maggie. Do you remember Mateo, my co-host Mateo? If you do, let me know in the chat. I think she does. I think she was here then. I almost remember her being here.
I can't
But
remember. I just remember I was keeping a list for you, and I
yeah,
said I wish I had my old bots because my old bots would just like it'd have a list of names and it would just sit there and it'd look at the name in the chat and then it would compare it to the list and if it wasn't there it just added to the list, and the next time, every time it seen a name on the screen and check the list, just check the list.
look, Maggie.
And
She says yes, she was here.
okay,
Yeah, I think she was here since definitely at least the spring of last year. So I mean, time has
okay,
flown. The thing.
like I said, I just have to open the Excel file and I could tell you who was here back in the day because it wasn't a very long list, you know what I
And
mean, of all
shout,
the
shout out to
individual names.
Shout out to Mateo. Just if anyone wonder, he didn't go anywhere. He's just refocused his energies on his
Electronics business.
yes, exactly. So it's all love, and he knows
All I
he
know is he has that particle detector, and I was like, "Ooh, I wonder what that would do around my house."
yeah,
You
that's what
know?
I'm saying. We had some great conversations in season one, and we're gonna have great conversations here in season two because, like I said, we're on this mission trying to figure things out. This show, right? So my experience with the phenomena. Would you come on there, man, and tell your experience?
Which one? I mean,
This
do you want?
oh yeah, anyone,
I
anyone.
mean, I mean, let's think about it. From early toddler, it was near death experience. Second grade was contact with whatever the hell was outside my bedroom window, projecting images on the wall. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And then of course, when I'm in my 30s, 40s, I'm sitting in the back of a NASA truck and looking at the projected images on the floor and going, "Damn, that's fucking crazy." They're interacting with like half a dozen people or a dozen people or whatever it was in the room. You know what I mean? It was
Yes.
just, I mean, and you look up at the ceiling and you look at all those cameras and you look at all those projectors, and then you sit there and think, how many computers are running all this? You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And it's all sitting in the back of a semi truck trailer. You know what I mean? I mean it was just mind boggling, and I don't know how many people I took to that thing because I was just like, dude, you got to check this out. And they're like, what? And I'm like, dude, you got to check out these cameras.
Definitely.
these
And no, Christine,
these cameras are looking at you and projecting the image, but not projecting the images on people, only on the floor. You know what I mean? And if you tried to get near these images, they'd always move away from you. You know what I mean? So, when these people are talking about orbs turning into Bigfoot or whatever, I'm like going, is this some kind of NASA little projected image things? Because I know they can like put a box on the floor, like a 2x2 square on the floor, middle of the floor, and only the person standing in that square can hear the sound. If you stand outside of that box, you can't hear the sound. But only if you're standing in that one spot will you hear the sound. You know.
right.
So that's kind of why it's like when you got the knock knock knock, which to me sounds like a 3 round burst from the military base going pop 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 pop.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I mean that's exactly what those rifles sound like. Those, I don't know how big they are, but you can hear them from miles away, so they have to be good sized. You know what I mean? And the concussion from 'em would definitely sound like somebody knocking on your door.
definitely.
So maybe your neighbor had some rifle and fired off a 3 round burst by mistake. You know what I mean? You never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, no, see, the thing is, we would have picked that up on our other cameras, I would think. You would think that would be, well, maybe if they weren't triggered, but I didn't hear it. So I think if it would have been outside,
Right.
I was in
You
another part of the house. So I should
exactly. So, but you got a reaction of the dogs, so they definitely heard something.
that's what I mean.
And
And the camera gets triggered. So I'm just like, what in the world is that?
well,
But
it's like what like I said with the 18 kilohertz to 21 kilohertz, it's only the children that can hear it under the age of 21 usually. I mean,
right,
sometimes you'll get somebody 22, 23 that can hear it, but usually at 21 you can't hear it no more. And it was Harry Potter. I think yeah, it was Harry Potter, one of the Harry Potter ones where they are breaking the Horcruxes or whatever. Apparently, when they break those Horcruxes, and they play some sound that only the children hear, and it's like the most god awful sound to them or whatever. You know what I
right,
mean? But the parents won't hear it at all. They were just kind of like, "What are you reacting to?" You know.
right,
and I've shown many people's children, or use their children as demonstrations because they don't know what I'm doing, but their parents know what I'm doing. And every time I push the button, you can see their child start trying to figure out where the sound's coming from. You know what I mean? And as soon
right.
as I touch my screen again, they go, "It stopped." And since me and the parents are in on it, we're just like, "What stopped?" You know what I mean? Like we're not hearing anything.
Right.
And I guess that's what's considered gaslighting somebody. Making them think that they're just hearing something that's not there. Correct? Is that what gaslighting is technically? Trying to make
It,
somebody think they're crazy by, you know,
I'm always confused at how people use that, so I couldn't answer that for you. And go ahead
I'm
and start real quick. I'm having something popped up real quick, so I'll be right back.
okay. Now I wish I could see the chat, but I can't see the chat for some reason.
Okay. Yeah, we had a issue come up, but it's okay. We're good for now. Okay.
Got more
Uh,
spooks in the network.
yeah,
Oh,
no. We just my girl has to go. Someone we have to get a family member off the side of the road. So, but she's gonna go do
roadside
that.
emergency.
Yeah. So here's the one thing.
Yay.
Christine was like, she's not going to do it because she's tired of sloppy. My brainwaves this late. No, so not tonight, Christine. This would be. I'm just trying to get the list of names put together for future, right? So maybe we do this in a week or so. We actually do the episode, but I want to just build a pipeline, and I'm just going to start the show out with my own experience. That way, that's easiest thing to do, and then I kind of build it from there. But
I definitely like in the afternoon better than late at night. That's for sure.
yeah, and that's gonna be the so that's why I didn't want to cannibalize this show because I think there are times when we need to have a late night call-in show, and it's always cool
Right.
the topics that we talk about. So I want to keep the late night aspect, I want to keep the regular social dig because the way it presents info, I like that as well, and it's needed. And I think
right?
this is an extra little thing that kind of should fill up the gap and kind of I think it appeals to hopefully a younger demographic as well, which I think we need to get the younger people involved in the conversation. And there just aren't many shows I think that try to appeal to the younger generation, but I think we have to, right? Because they're a part of the conversation too.
I don't know about the children these days.
I
I
know. I
don't know.
didn't say I knew about where they're going and where you know what I mean,
I,
because who knows?
I kind of feel bad for Deb from SAC when I was making my remarks about Debbie Does Texas, and I was like, you know, if I capitalize the first letter of three words, it's probably concerning the three letters and not the three words. You know what I mean? And and for whatever reason, I cannot type those three letters together. Debbie Does Texas. You know what I'm talking about, right? When I
Well,
say that, not the
well,
pornographic
okay,
material.
okay, 'cause that's why I was.
I'm talking about the insecticide that was sprayed years ago.
Oh,
You
I
know,
don't know
that's
about this. Fill me in.
so. My first legal job was detasseling corn, which is basically you go down the corn rows, you'll leave like 8 rows alone, and the
Mhm.
next 16 rows you'll pull all the tassels out of them, which will pretty much sterilize those 16 rows so they can't self pollinate. So the 8 rows that you don't detassel, later on they come through with lawnmowers. They're like 6 foot tall, you know what I mean? Just takes off
Right.
the tassels. And guess what? They pollinate the whole field just mowing those 8 rows.
Aloha Dave says he thinks it was DET. I have no clue either way, so I wouldn't know what it was.
DDT.
DDT. Oh,
DDT.
like the
They
only
used to spray
DDT
it.
I
They
remember is
used
when
to spray it from airplanes and everything else, and it caused the birds to have thin shells, and then it decreased the bird population. And then it was all, oh, we got to save the bees, but now we got the Africanized bees, which are extremely nasty, and yeah. So,
yeah,
and
D.
I think how, people are like, oh, but we need them to pollinate the corn. No, you don't. We got machines that will pollinate the corn. That's what I'm trying to. If you see 3 combines going down a field, chances are that field is GMO corn because, like I said, 1 row or the 8 rows, which is the standard combine picking head, is 8 rows. That 8 rows is self pollinated. That hopper goes to one truck. The next 2 combines go to a different trailer, and the hybrid would be the 16 rows that got detasseled because they're a cross between the 8 rows and the 16 rows. And the
Mm,
8 rows are just a cross between the 8 rows with themselves. They're self inbreds, you know what I mean? So hopefully I'm not going to get you flagged for,
you
using
probably will.
certain words. I
Always
can't
run.
remember that whole long list. I don't have it sitting here in front of me like, oh, I can't say that. I
Oh,
can't
you
say that. Can't
saw
say
the list.
that.
Yeah, the list I read. Yeah, that was pretty awesome, actually. Now that I think about it, but yeah.
Hmm.
So, with that being said, yeah, I just kind of want to. So here's basically what I want to do here. So, with tonight's show, I really just wanted to kind of lay out the game plan for this new show, right? Because I knew I had the schedule. I just want to, spend this time to do that. I think overwhelmingly, most people are in agreement that they like what's going on. Tamalt, man, I don't know if you saw it. I don't know if you saw it. So I'm gonna specifically because I kicked it with Tamalt, man, out in Reno, and I owe him a couple drinks, man. We had a couple beers, in Virginia City, and we had some tequila out in Reno. So shout out to Tamalt,
Did
man.
any of you guys go to Pyramid Lake? Did anybody go to Pyramid Lake while you're
No,
down there?
nope.
Oh,
No, we went right from the Silver Legacy, and we drove down to Virginia City up in the mountains. But this is yeah, me and Small Man shared a couple drinks, man. We shared some cool times. So here, check this out, Small Man. Let me know what you think of this. This is the intro that we're working on for the show here. for this new show, my experience with the phenomena, and it's basically just a show for viewers to just come in and just talk about their experiences, just tell the story, right? No real interview, maybe a couple questions here and there, but more so just giving the floor to viewers to talk about their experiences with the phenomena. And here's the intro. Let me know what you think, tomorrow, man, and we'll be right.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home. It sucks, I've had enough, I don't wanna feel the stuck under the rug, all my problems that I shove.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
Tomorrow, man, thumbs up, thumbs down, man. Tomorrow, man, thumbs up, thumbs down. Let me know. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Thank you, Aloha Dave. I worked the last couple days on that, and I felt it too, man. It felt pretty good. Still some things I need to add to it, but it's pretty much there. And I'm getting thumbs. I'm getting thumbs.
I can't see the chat now for some reason on here.
Are you? You know, you should. Are you on an iPhone or?
Yeah, I foobarred my accounts earlier. That's why I was kind of like even curious if I was even being seen in chat.
Yeah. Oh, badass. Okay. Not just thumbs up, but badass. Okay, I love that, Tamar, man. That's what I'm talking about. Very descriptive. Yeah, that kind of gets to the point, man. I definitely appreciate that. Vanna Black says definitely woo. And that's what I wanted to do. So I'm glad it came across that way. And I thought the song choice was pretty cool too. So just something to get you pumped up, something to make you look forward to the next one, and hopefully that's what we got here.
I'll definitely have to listen to that with better speakers.
Yeah, you know what? I'm listening to it, and I think the bass, I think the initial kick is, but that the second the 808 they bring in sounds. I think it purposely has a distortion on it.
Distortion in it. Well,
Yeah, I think it
sometimes the bass
purposely
does have distortion in it, but I remember
I
the
think
first
it
time
purposely did that.
my brother had a SPL system in his S10 Blazer. Had like 812s and 2000 watts pushing them. Holy crap! So, anyways, one day I put a Corn Blind. You ever listen to that? Corn with
What?
K.
Say that
Corn.
again. Corn, the
Corn.
band.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're from
Song
here.
called Blind. I don't know where they're from.
Yeah, they're from my. Well, this ain't my town.
I I I, I don't keep statistics on people's artists. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I
yeah.
mean, if I listen to it, I listen to it. I mean, just because I like some Iron Maiden songs doesn't mean I like every Iron Maiden song. You know what I mean? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
for me, it's songs like Still Life. For me, it was, I had it on cassette tape. I had a dual cassette player, and I just happened to record it to a Memorex tape and said, let me take out these 5 screws from the Memorex tape and flip one of the reels or flip the reels around in the cassette, rewind it. So all of it was on there the right way, and then I played the thing backwards until I found, uh,
That's
shit,
funny.
I can't remember the rest of it. It says something about the fools meddle shouldn't meddle with things they don't understand or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Something like that. But
I
anyways, yeah.
Yeah, I get into, as you can tell with the after hours stuff. I listen to rock, I listen to rap, I listen to jazz, I listen to classical, I listen to country, I listen to with me as a
Right?
musician, with me as a musician, if it's sonically pleasing to my ear, and not just because some people will say they don't listen to rap because of the beat, the boom boom in the beat. So I look past that. I look more for the artistry in the music and the composition. You know what I mean? The
Right.
composition of music is what attracts me, and that's
Lyrical value.
yeah, the
That's
lyrical
how it
value,
is with me.
just the phrasing, the instrumental phrasing.
Right?
Like, I like shredding guitars. I got a guitar sitting right here, electric guitar that I'm teaching myself to play. So I'm just one of those dudes, man. I'm just open to everything. I listen to everything. Period.
Oh, so what do you think of my little contraption? You see why that sounds similar to what I say I hate when you during your the one show? I can't remember I don't know why I always. You know that sound I'm talking about. The one I'm
Oh,
always complaining about.
yeah.
That.
I can play it for you. Yeah, I know what you mean.
No, you don't have to play it for me. I already know. I'm just asking. Do you see the similarity of my contraption and that sound?
Now I got to go back and look. Now that you're saying that, I didn't tie anything like that together, but I have to do that now that you said it.
Did you
Definitely.
not read the title? There's a reason why I wrote the title like I did. The reason I used Illinois is because when I was a little boy, my
Mm-hmm.
teacher would get so annoyed when I'd say Illinois, like noise. And every time I said Illinois, I'd have to write Illinois 50 times, or I'd get paddled 3 times.
that's
So,
that's funny. That's
yeah. So,
that's you bring the comedy, man. You bring the comedy. Hilarious. I appreciate that too. Let
but
me
that,
see. Yeah. The Aloha Day. Me too. The artistry of the music, then the lyrics. Yeah. Definitely. I like I said, I started playing instruments. Okay, there goes the camera. So let me go
oh,
this. Okay. So
you
yeah, I
broke it.
started when I was 9 doing my mom bought me an electric piano, and the day she brought it home I was playing by ear some melodies that were on the radio, just like simple melodies, but still being able to
My
you
friend
know,
can do that. My friend can do that.
that's how
I
I
don't know.
started.
He's got like a whole studio down in his basement. He's got a piano, he's got drums, he's got guitars, he's got basses, he's got PAs out the wazoo, he's got microphones, he's got keyboards, he's got
Yeah.
mixers. You know,
I was the actual
uh,
signed artist. I was signed to a record label. We put out albums, so I mean I've done music for real, like on a real level, and that's the
well,
thing. That's
I make
why.
instruments that I've never seen before. So you know, who do you talk to other than musicians to say how in the hell would you play this thing? You know what I mean?
No,
I mean, how would you play that thing I made?
as long as it can be tuned, then anything can be played. You see they play spoons. You can play. You can tap glasses, different size glasses. As long as it can be tuned, the notes are the notes, and that's just what it is. So if you can tune whatever it is to that frequency, then you're going to be able to play it.
Like
So
I
let me
said, good luck.
on
Good luck
your
tuning all 18 strings of my little contraption.
yeah. Hold on, I'm just trying to fix my camera, man. Hold on.
Uh-oh, you broke it.
Nah, it's just
Solar
it's running
flares.
batteries. What it is. I should have changed my
I told you
focus.
one of my toys used to drain batteries quicker than quick,
Yeah, it's after I just did a 3 hour show, so
right? And it worked fine.
with that being no, by the time that show is over, I usually don't have too much left in the tank. So I mean,
Oh, you don't have it charging while you're doing it?
yeah, the type of camera that I'm using is one that runs on camera. I know you guys can hear all that. That's me trying to fix the camera. Give me just a second here.
Oh, we all thought it was your Alexa doorbell.
Yeah, no, it's me trying to manipulate this camera. And let me see.
Alexa, where's your brain? You ever ask Alexa that?
Ask her, what does she say? What's her response? I don't have an Alexa in here, so I can't ask. But I can
She'll
ask
say
you, Alexa, Alexa, play something cool. She didn't do anything.
I'll hear Alexa.
Look, people, because I watch YouTube on TV, right? So when people do that to me, my thing always gets triggered. It's hilarious.
Alexa, where's your brain? Alexa, what's of strategic importance around your brain? Oh yeah, she doesn't have a brain. It's a logic unit. Ask her what's of strategic importance around her logic, and you'll find the NSA and the CIA and all sorts of yay.
Okay, we're almost there. Hold on, it's still blurry.
Seen you for just a second.
Yeah, this damn thing. I've
Plug
been
it
late
in, plug it in.
because of this. Yeah, because the utility that it uses doesn't always come up. So hold on here.
Sometimes you gotta stick it in a different port.
Yeah, I know it's a very irritating sound. I know
And don't ask me how to make it forget all the installed drivers to each
that. Let's
USB
talk
port
about
because I don't
Alexa
remember
for a
how
minute,
to do it. Huh?
because
What about
I
Alexa?
I tripped my girl out one day because I told her because I saw something on TV where it showed you, it basically exposed the fact that your Alexa is just recording all sorts of random stuff that you say and you do.
Yeah,
And what you have to do though, see
keyword data.
a lot of people don't know this. So they'd be shocked if you go to your Alexa. I wish I had the instructions for you right now, but if you went to your Alexa right now and went in there, you would see so many different times where it recorded you. It's stored in there right now. You have to go in there and delete it. So I'm talking
Yep.
about Alexa has caught you talking about all sorts of stuff that you really didn't want Alexa to catch you catching.
How do you think they suggest all these different ads?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I know
I mean,
the thing is that when you're in your living room or your bedroom and you may be saying something to your significant other, in a moment or having a moment or something, right?
talking in your sleep,
And
talking in your sleep,
Alexa is recording you. And you will
right?
never know that the recording is there if you don't go in there and clear it out yourself. You would be shocked. When we went in there, when we found this out and we went in there to clear it out, it had recordings that went back years. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I was
Oh
shocked.
yeah.
Like, whoa, dude. Like,
I got hard drives from 20 years ago, and I could tell you who said what and when they said it. Rob, 20 years ago.
see, but
I
that lets
mean,
you know who else
I
gets
got
the
the.
information.
I mean, my wife was kind of, she's not so surprised now, but she was kind of surprised back then. She was like, "How do you remember all this stuff people say?" And I'm like, "I don't. My computers are recording data, and yeah." So I mean, it was so basically, like I said, I had a primary list. So back in the day of Yahoo Chat, because that's where I usually ran my bots, but I wasn't promoting the porn like a many bots do. You know what I mean? So basically, it was looking at the chat screen, and it would look at each line of the chat screen as like a piece of data. And so when it's seen, X has entered the room, you know what I mean? Or entered the chat, right? It would sit there and look at that name and it would compare it to the list. If they weren't on the list, it added it to the list. Then it moved on. After that, it created a file with X's name on it, or Y or Z or whoever you want it to be. You get what I'm saying? And so it'd create a file, and inside the file there'd be an INI file, and in that file would be the section header would be the date, and then each entry in that section would be the time that they posted whatever they posted, and then the next day comes along, you just make a new section header and new timestamps. You know what I mean? So I could just pretty much query my database of files, and if I wanted, who said whatever June 6th between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m., you know what I'm saying? I could tell you everything that got said between 3 and 6 p.m. on that day. You know what I mean?
Right.
Word verbatim, I could tell you what got said that day. And that's what's kind of annoying me with YouTube these days is like when we watch the replay, the chat's gone. There's no chat there anymore. The
Right.
live chat's not there. I don't know if that's just on phones or for everybody, or I don't know what they did, but they definitely changed something. You go
What
to
I
leave a comment,
You
huh?
can sometimes, I think it really depends on the app, right? Because I found
Right?
what it is it's on certain if you go to a browser though, if you go to the browser, live chat is there every time. So it's
Is it
just the app that can
okay?
check. If you go to the actual browser and then go to YouTube there,
All
the live
right.
chat is there for sure every
Like
time.
I said, I foobarred all sorts of stuff earlier because I don't know what I was doing, but I was clicking on things and I deleted my account from YouTube on here somehow, and I deleted my X, Twitter, and I'm
Hey, I'm gonna
like
refresh,
going,
hang out, and I'll be
all right, okay. So I need to get my glasses on. No can see, no can see. Still can't see.
okay. It's pretty ridiculous. Blurry's gonna have to do for now, man. Oh well.
Oh well.
Yeah. Oh well. Let me see. Bring up my slides again here. Okay, yeah. So Maggie and Tin, old social media, Mr. Raji, there's some rock paintings here in Australia and go back to Tepe that look like the weird big eared Dobby video. Who knows? But they remind me of that video. Christine, I'm gonna do Maggie, I'm gonna do a show about that actually because a lot of people brush that off. And once again, as I said, I'm actually friends with the lady, the mom in that whole story. And so I know initially when I first hit Facebook, I reached out to her, but she probably was like, who the hell is this? Because I didn't have anybody following or anything. It was like a random new page. So I'm pretty sure she was like, what the heck is this? So I'm going to reach back out to her to see if I can get her because I would love to get her to come on and say, this has not been debunked because it has not been debunked. I'll tell you, it's not been debunked. I looked, researched it a bunch of times before I even showed it. The only thing, and we talked about what they said they thought it was a little kid with underwear on his head, but it was an actual ET. And I think people overlook this thing so often and don't realize that what they're looking at is something that is actually real. I have almost every reason to believe that Dobby
That
video
one was weird.
is
I
real.
remember that one. That one was weird because it was like reflecting on the car and everything else.
Reflecting on the car, it was all one uniform color. They were saying this underwear on the head. They showed a kid with underwear in the head next to that, and they ran them side by side. Did not look the same at all. The only thing that I would have said is that if that was a kid, that's what they're gonna go with, then it would have had to been a kid that hadn't ate in months, and then on top of that, happened to have a full body bodysuit from head to toe that was one
Right?
uniform color, but that
And
isn't
wearing some kind of stilts.
wearing some kind of stilts because you saw how the knee joints were and how the arms hung down dang near past the crotch area. And if you look
Look
into
like
it,
look like grasshopper legs put on backwards.
if you look into it, that the entity, I'm going to call it that because it wasn't a kid. The entity in that video looks well, I'm not going to say exactly, looks very close to the Hopkinsville, the Hopkinsville ET. If you go back to that, I think it happened in the 50s. There was a story where this the guy was outside. They had like a cabin. They were living back. I don't know if it had. I think it had electricity, but they were like in the middle of the woods, and the family lived there. It was like the mom, and then the sons were like grown age, right? And so one of the sons, I guess, was outside and it saw this, what he said was a ship or something, fly over him and like over the tree cover. And then moments later, these little entities started coming out the woods and they had their hands raised in the air. Some of them had their hands like this raised in the air walking towards them. And so he ran in the house, and apparently these things were like kept coming up to the house all night. They would stand in the window. They would one time he had come outside, the one was on the roof and kind of reached down and grabbed him on his head. So this was the Hopkinsville ET. If you ever go back and look at that, and then you compare what was being described there with the Dobby video, the only reason why I did that is because you don't really hear of extraterrestrials that have big floppy ears. You just don't. There, and if I look through a database of described ETs, the people have described over the years, and they have all sorts of different weird shapes and forms, but none of them except for one was described to have these big floppy ears, like an elephant almost. And if you look at the Dobby video, that's exactly what you're seeing there. You're not seeing underwear on a kid's head. Yeah, the Hopkinsville goblins, exactly, Brown Dwarf. Those entities that were depicted in the Hopkinsville case, I am almost sure by description that they are what we saw in the Dobby video, because the Dobby video was not a human being, period. It wasn't a human. So if it's an ET, which we'd have to assume that it could be a cryptid, is we don't know, right? Could be a cryptid, could not be an ET. But
I'm sorry, but I'd be trigger happy.
that's what so here's what I left that out. In the
If I lived out in the middle of nowhere, trust me, I'd be having guns in the house
in the
and plenty of ammo.
They actually did shoot at these things all night long. They actually because the things kept trying to get in the house. So they grabbed the shotgun all night long for like 4 hours. They were really hunkered down trying to defend themselves. This happened through the night. So I think it started at like 8, 9 o'clock at night. And they were in the house like on guard till like the next morning. They were so scared that they all had to run out the house together to get in the car, and they drove down to the police station where they went ahead and submitted the case. They and it's all on record. It hit the newspaper out there. It was the big thing. So you guys should definitely go back and look, and maybe we could bring it up here. But the Hopkinsville goblin, I'm telling you, is basically the same thing that you saw in that Dobby video. I would bet everything I have on that. And it's the only ET that has ever been described from what I know that has a characteristic of big floppy ears. Usually they say they don't have any ears, or if just small holes where ears would be. These in both cases happen to be described with big, huge floppy ears. So there's the coincidence, it's more than coincidence, right? It has to be the same type of entities. When you hear grays, you hear grays. When you hear grays, grays take on the characteristic with the big head, the big eyes, the little small mouth. It's always the same. And then when people see them in other situations, it's the same in those cases as well. So I don't know, man. I don't know, but that's what it is. So here's loose skin. Yeah, Maggie, I'm telling you, at the end of the day, watch what we find out. Watch how many sightings of things that were written off as nothing come back to the forefront and be like, wow, that was actually real. that was actually real too. That's why I talk about cataloging the data, because regardless on if there's something to it or not, if it's there for you to kind of go back and reference against, then you may be able to debunk it. It may take 5 years from now, or you may have, it may be confirmed that these big floppy ear things are one of the species that's coming to visit us. And then you go back to the Dobby video, like that was real. It was at her front door and walked down the driveway. Like that is wild. And I'm gonna play that video because it's real, man. Hold on. Hopefully, we always run the risk of getting flagged on this channel. So let me see. Let me see if I can find that video. So Inside Edition covered it. This is it's only a minute 48 seconds. So I'm gonna say this is for fair use, right? And we're viewing this for educational purposes, and we are providing commentary. So I think that's enough to cover this. So let's take a look at the Dobby ETV.
Just pause after 15 seconds.
Right. And I can do that. So let me see here. Make sure it's full screen.
Yeah, get them right there. Pause that. That's what you need right there.
Right. So
because you should be able to see them right there on the corner of the car.
Let me remove
on the side of the car.
From the
Can you blow that up?
Yeah, let me remove everything here. That way I can blow it up. All right, let me remove the message. And so you guys can tell right here, this is the Dobby video that Maggie was talking about. And here's what I will say. All right.
Let him take about 2 or 3 steps and pause it, and you should be able to see his little ass on the side of the car.
All right, but first off, before we started, head to toe, this is one uniform color. This is not a child with underwear on his head, but they're going to present it as that. So let's go ahead and take a look real quick. Let me go ahead and play it.
It's the creepy video that freaks
everyone right out. There.
That step that he takes right here. Look at this. How if I can get it.
Freaked everyone out.
But even that, look at the back leg.
Rewind it. Rewind it to where he was. Well, now it looks like he's got 3 legs in that image, but there's not 3 legs there.
This is one
you, if you catch him on about the 2nd or 3rd step, if you pause it right there, you'll see him on the side of that car. Boom, look at that.
No, yeah, you can see him right in here.
Right there. And if you went back one, you'd be able to see the face almost if you could zoom in on that car window.
Yeah, I've checked. You can't make it out.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying is, but yeah.
But look at this. I'm just gonna look.
Just look at the proportions, though. Those freaking legs are long from the knees down.
Tell me, anyone out there looking at this? Human legs, no. Human legs, no. Human legs, no. And then he does the wing action too. Yeah, Vanta. See, and that's the thing. So people were like, "Oh, well, he's doing the chicken dance. He's doing so it must be a human. He's doing the chicken dance." So you think the chicken dance? First of all, a kid hasn't done a chicken dance in 30 years. I haven't seen any kid that I know ever do a chicken dance. Chicken dance isn't even a thing with kids nowadays. And then second of all, if you look at, like I said, the legs, look at this leg. Let me get my arrow back here. Look at this leg. Let me scroll up. Look at this leg. How is this even a thing? Look at this leg. Okay, look at how long the foot is. Look at the leg over here. Look at how the hands hang. And in the Hopkinsville case, with the arms, they said they had these claws on the end of the hands. You can almost make that out here in this video here. So let me go ahead and play it.
Back in June on a motion sensor camera outside a home in La Junta, Colorado. Definitely not human, wrote one mystified observer. Lots of people think it looked like Dobby, the beloved elf from the Harry Potter movies.
Dobby is free.
Another theory? It's a skinny kid wearing underwear on his head.
It's a little creepy to be in.
So let me stop it so we don't get flagged. So This is a lady I'm talking to right here, or who I'm reaching out to get, because she's never. The claims were by some people. They said, "Oh, they came out and eventually said it was a hoax." No, it never happened. Check the social media going back, never happened. Check all the people who did debunking videos or tried to do debunking videos on it, never happened. All the debunkers could come up with, they said, even though they were trying to debunk it, they said that it is real, the video is real, the thing in the video is real, but that it is a kid with underwear on his head. So not saying that the video's been doctored, which it hasn't, and then admitting to whatever it is real, because the reflection that you see in the car, but they just their end result is, no, it's a kid with underwear. So this video is going to show you what those two things look at
The
side by
driveway.
side.
After watching this video, we're here right now.
Vivian Gomez owns the house where the video was shot. And this is Bobby, her 9-year-old son. He's about the same height as the creature in the video. So could Bobby be Dobby?
Bobby, was that you in the video?
No,
Are you sure?
I'm sure. Definitely.
He has an alibi.
Can you
His
go back to
mom.
where he's
They say
reflecting in
he
the
was inside
window
the
for
house
me?
watching TV when the
I'm sure. Definitely.
You in the video?
her 9-year-old
Or
son chicken danced down the driveway at night inside the house
too
watching
far.
TV when the creature chicken.
Boom. Now, source of light is behind, reflecting. Oh, it's over there. I see it now. Okay.
danced down the driveway at 9 p.m. at night. Still,
Sorry, I was looking for
Bobby's
light
dad-
angles.
You sure
Yeah,
you don't
it's all
dance with
good.
underwear on your head down the driveway at night?
I'm sure.
Our number
There's a
one
light on the
suspect
far
is
right
pointing
of the
finger
screen.
at his friend
Because I was
Montana.
trying to figure out how it was
Proverbial
reflecting so
girl
well
next
when the
door.
main source of light was from
No
behind.
way it was me, says Montana.
Who do you think it is?
Bobby with underwear on his head.
You think it's Bobby?
There's only one way to settle this.
I have some underwear to put on your head.
No.
Shall we?
Sure.
He doesn't even know how to do the walk or anything.
All right,
either.
let's see it.
Here's Bobby doing the chicken dance on a night vision camera. And here he is, side by side with the creature. So
I'm telling you, if you add about 1 foot stilts to that kid, it might be similar, but you'd have to get the kid to walk on stilts.
I
Because you
mean,
got weird proportions from the hips to the knees and knees to the ankles. That's why I said it looks like a grasshopper with the legs on backwards.
So what are you? Let me just see out here. Child went to his neighbor's house. Yeah.
What part of Colorado were they from?
I don't know if this is this. Where did you see this at, Lovey Love? Did you
What'd
see
she say?
this? Because if you saw this, send me the link to where they said the malnourished child went to the neighbor's house. Because I'm on with the lady every day on social media, and I've scoured the internet researching this particular video, and there has never been any video that has been made I've dug it up, and there just isn't one that debunks this. So if you know of one, then you got to bring the receipts. You got to bring post the link in the chat, and then that way we can bring it up, or give me the title or something so we can see that. Because
What part of Colorado are they from?
La Junta, and I actually looked at the neighborhood. In the neighborhood,
where is that?
I'm not sure.
Like close to Denver, or the Springs, or
it's not near major cities. It's like its own little town. Brown Door
like
said he met a lady from this town.
Southwest area, or
No. Christine says, okay, she was talking about another case. Okay, my bad. I thought she was talking about the Dobby thing here, because if this was going to be a kid, then it would have to be a malnourished kid, because I've always said that this would be a kid that couldn't have eaten in the last 6 months in order for this to be a kid. And not only that, but this kid would have some extraordinarily long arms. If you see this, let me get over here. This is actually a perfect view of the arm thing. This is his shoulder. His elbows probably should be right around here. What the hell is
according
this?
to the other one? Exactly. And like I said, it looks like a Look at it. Looks like a grasshopper with its legs on backwards. I mean,
So
imagine a grasshopper with the back legs on backwards. That's what it looks like.
what I'm saying is that yeah, no, that's right. But look at how long this arm is, man. His is, and this is obviously you know this because you've seen this, but for someone who's just like, oh, I don't know, it could be a kid. No, look at the elbow should be right about here if this is a child, and that means his arm should end somewhere around here. But for some reason, it's way down here. And you explain to me how that's even possible. So here's the thing: this thing went up to this lady's front door, right? It in the beginning of the video, you see the screen door, the shadow of the screen door close. So this thing went up to her front door, and the reason why I keep pointing towards Hopkinsville, not just aside from the resemblance in the description and the claws it supposedly had, because I would assume that that long part there may be a claw. I don't know because I didn't see it myself. But what I
All I
would
know
say
is if something like that came to my window, I'd be shooting at it.
exactly, and both of them actually, in both cases, these were ETs that were trying to get in the house. So in the Hopkinsville incident, all night long, the ETs were coming up to the window, the doors, they were trying to get in. So what that says is they weren't ones that obviously could just walk through walls or anything. These ones had to come through a door or a window. And it's the same
Right.
thing here, where if this is the entity, it went to check the door because it couldn't just walk through it. It was like a lot of people say these ETs can just materialize and walk through stuff. These particular ones, whatever these floppy eared things are, as was reported in the Hopkinsville case, these both show the same habits or the same they both, you know, attempted to try to go up to the house in both cases, and they, you know, their physical form apparently doesn't allow them to just, so they have to go through a door in both cases, right? I think we can agree if you look at this video, and I've done this, if you break this down frame by frame, and that's kind of what you need to do. If you, and this is
I
on
mean,
YouTube, so
that
you go,
definitely looks like a cave critter. That's for sure. Because it
and it
sure is
definitely,
white.
so the problem is it doesn't look human. Now, what is it? We don't know. I can think maybe it's
Right.
optical, but at the very least, I think you can agree, and we can agree that this is not a human being, man. And here's the problem I have with that. Right? Let me come back on
I'm just
screen.
asking about Colorado because that was where my encounter with the projected images on the walls were.
Nah, this is a
And
mountain town.
okay, well, I'm just saying there's all sorts of weird stuff that went on out there. So, you know, you hear stories. So that's
Yeah.
why I was,
No, no. And
I, I
here's
told,
so.
I told you because my small size, I used to fit down the storm sewers pipes. And, you know, I was always worried about running into something like that down in those pipes because, you know, you never know what's going to be down there, to be
And I
honest
like
with you.
this. I like this. Jennifer, what's flapping on his head? Those are ears. They're trying to say that those that what's flapping on his head is supposedly underwear, right?
Pair of
But
boxers.
okay,
Yeah.
so here's my thing. This thing is uniform color from head to toe. Period. We could all see that. There's no doubt. This isn't a camera artifact. This thing is literally the color that you're seeing right here, the same color top to bottom. Is this a naked thing? Probably, or is this a suit that goes up to the head? The only thing I do know is this kid doesn't own a full bodysuit. This, and the mom would know that if the kid did, because she would have had to buy it for him. He's 9 years old at the time, so there's no way he owns a white bodysuit from head to toe. It's the only thing that they could probably use to try to explain this. Otherwise, I think you can see what this is. And my problem with this is that when this came out, this blew up all over the internet, all over Facebook, all social media, millions and millions of views. And the lady stood by her story every time the news came out there. Inside Edition came out there like 2 or 3 different times. The local news, all those guys, they stood on their story. The boy does not look like he's lying. The boy couldn't even imitate the walk. He tried, he couldn't even do it. And then secondly, you know, this was brushed off as people immediately, there were like rumors that this had been debunked. And somebody that when I initially found this and I'd already researched it, I showed it. and I think it was Tim Senor saw it, and he was like, "No, this. It was debunked. It came out a long time ago." I'm like, "Where is that data though? Because I don't see that. I didn't see that, and you can't just come out and say that because then you end up debunk or kind of pushing aside things that shouldn't be pushed aside." And I think I know we have that problem within ufology because there are other cases of things that are really probably likely real that people have just tried to write off as something explainable and nothing to see here. This is going to be one of those ones that people are going to go back once disclosure hits and be like, damn, we had a video of an alien this whole time and everybody disregarded it and brushed it away. Show me, I will stand on this is not a human being until someone can come out and show me. And not only that, but the mother that was in that film or in the video, I am friends with her, and we will be, I want to try to get her on video to say that no, this has not been debunked. And this was exactly what we saw. If you go through her social media back when this happened, you see family and friends talking to her, truly concerned about what was going on. You know what I mean? And they discussed this back at the time when this happened. So there's nothing out there that has ever debunked this. And this is clearly something not human that tried to get in this person's house. The door was locked, and so it went down the driveway, and the video stops after like 10 seconds because it's like a ring camera. It doesn't stay on the whole time. And then we don't know where it went. Across the street is like a rural field, like a lot of brush and debris. This is like a little mountain town. So I've looked at this on Google Maps. There was nowhere for it to go across the street. And there's neighbors going each way on both sides. But yeah, I mean, this is one of those ones that you have to put on the shelf. And until it's debunked, this is what it is. Explain to me how this is a human, and you can let me. If you can let me know, I would. Hey, I'm with that.
Unless it's some kid on stilts, that's the only way I could see it happening.
Period.
That's the only way I could. But then you still got the weird body proportions otherwise. So
But here's the scary part: is it was trying to get in her house. What if her door was unlocked? What if her door was unlocked when it tried to get in?
Well,
then what happened?
That's why most people lock their doors these days.
But I'm saying, like, when you live in a like in Canada, I heard the rumor is they don't really lock their doors out there. I don't know if it's true. I don't live there, but
yeah, how many of them have guns too?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. In case it's a bear comes knocking on the door.
But
you know what
at
I
the
mean.
same time, for something to be able, if your door is unlocked, something can walk in. And so with her, it's just her and her son there, and it's like 9 o'clock. I think she said is when this happened. It was a little after 9. And just imagine, I mean, who knows what happens if when he tries to open the door, it opens and he's able to go in. Then what happens then? Is it an abduction situation experience or what?
He finds the refrigerator and starts drinking the beer, gets inebriated, and it's like ET.
What is
I don't
the
know.
interaction? But that's the point. My point is,
I mean,
is that
what if it is like ET the extraterrestrial and it's just friendly looking for some food and got separated from the rest of the tribe?
What if the food and what? No, Tomato Man.
What do you have to say?
Here's I'm gonna give you because if it is, please show me. Yeah, I'm gonna look that up too, Brown Dwarf, dear old creature. But here's the thing, right? I can go with you, Tomato Man. It was all BS, but where's the proof that it was? It should be easy to find.
Fake it. Fake a video.
Well,
fake a video.
Here's the
I
thing.
mean, if they say it's fake, fake it. Fake a video, make it look just as good as this one does.
My whole thing
with
is
all the weird body proportions and everything else. Fake it.
Hold on.
Huh.
So this is what I'm saying here. This is what we can't do within this community. People who understand that the phenomena is real and understand that encounters are real as well. You can't take a video and debunk it without having the proof. And I'm open to proof. So if it's been called BS and someone has done that, send me the link. It should be easy as that. I got the link to this video showing you the thing walking down the driveway. You could call it BS. That doesn't mean that it is BS. It just means you may, based on what you're
I
perceiving, you
I
think it's
I,
BS.
I want
But
to see somebody fake it. I want to see somebody fake the video if they think it's so fake. Fake it. Make it.
yeah,
Make a
it's
make a fake video of something that looks exactly the same.
see,
You know, with all those weird body proportions and everything else. So
it's Photoshop. Like I said, it's amazing, right? Like
if if they
here's this.
photoshopped it, they did a
Here's,
really good job
here's
because they
my
made sure to get the reflection on the car and
here's
keep
my
it all in time. Huh.
Here, what did he say? The kid's legs are familiar. I mean, you could say this, but until you broken the video down frame by frame, I don't think you really know, man, because there are definitely frames in this video where it's impossible for it to be a human being. Period. There are frames within this video where you get to see different angles of this thing walking down the driveway, and you'll be able to tell. So I'm not here, you're gonna want to believe what you believe at the end of the day. But my point is that in ufology, there are a lot of times, and I can point to others, where people who are supposed to be pushing for disclosure debunk the evidence. Like the evidence that you could take to someone and be like, bam, here it is. Then it's like it's debunked. Someone from within ufology debunks it, which blows my mind because you don't have any proof. You're just saying that. You're not. You bring some proof to the table that shows that this has
I
been debunked. That's what I
I
want
don't
to
have
see.
no proof that I had
No,
an
not
encounter
you.
in the
I'm talking
cornfield. I
in
didn't have
general.
any. I'm just saying I don't have any proof of it. You know, it's just something that's always stuck with me, and I didn't talk about it for years because oh, you're crazy. If you talked about it. So what do you do?
Here's the homework.
You know,
Here's the homework. Anybody that says it's been debunked, show the proof. Otherwise, don't say it. Say you think it's BS, and that's different than saying it's BS, it's been debunked, because that would not be a true statement. But Jennifer wants to see it back, and here we
It's the
go.
creepy video that freaked everyone out.
I'm honestly just kind of scared.
The creature was captured back in June on a motion sensor camera outside a home in La Junta, Colorado. Definitely not human, wrote one mystified observer. Lots of people think it looked like Dobby, the beloved elf from the Harry Potter movies. Dobby is free. Another theory? It's a
oh,
skinny
that's why he
kid
moves his
wearing
arms like that
underwear
towards
on
the
his
end
head.
there. Shucks, darn, the door is locked. I couldn't
The
get in.
driveway. After watching this video, we're here right now.
Vivian Gomez owns the house where the video was shot. And this is Bobby, her 9-year-old son. He's about the same height as the creature in the video. So, could Bobby be Dobby?
Bobby, was that you in the video?
No,
Are you sure?
I'm sure. Definitely.
He has an alibi, his mom. They say they were inside the house watching TV when the creature chicken danced down the driveway at 9 p.m. at night. Still, I was skeptical.
You sure you don't dance with underwear on your head down the driveway at night?
I'm sure.
Our number one suspect is pointing the finger at his friend Montana, the proverbial girl next door.
She does it better.
No way it was me, says Montana.
Who do you think it is?
Bobby with underwear on his head.
You think it's Bobby?
There's only one way to settle this.
I have some underwear to put on your head. Shall we?
Sure.
All right, let's see it.
Here's Bobby doing the chicken dance on a night vision camera. And here he is, side by side with...
Wait a
So
minute.
let's just look at this angle here. Let's just
Look at the
start it
shadow. Look at the shadows.
here. Well,
Why
I
is the
think,
shadow of
I
the boy
think,
going more towards the car? I mean, there might have been extra lighting in the picture on that
yeah,
one
because
too.
the film crew was there. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's something to do.
Because the reflection on the car is coming from, there's a light over to the right of the screen, like on the other side of the fence. That's why I
Okay.
was like, that's why I couldn't see a shadow, because the foreground, the closer light is pointing down the driveway, and the light pointing across the driveway is coming from the neighbors or whatever, and that's how you can see his reflection
So,
on the car.
forget that. You can tell the contrast. You can tell the contrast in the kid's clothing. Like he has on shorts and a shirt that are obviously different colors. You can tell where his leg is and where his clothes are. These are two different things. You can see his
Oh
socks.
yeah,
You can
that's what I
see
said. The length of the
his
legs are different.
shirt. Over here, you can't differentiate anything from head to toe. So, if for anybody that's what I'm saying. For people, either you're not willing to look at what it is that you're seeing right here, you're not willing to absorb it. Maybe it's scary to you, so you don't want to think about that. But there is nothing that says that this, besides it being similar to the height of the kid, for sure, but what does that really mean? We know beings are 3, 4 feet tall. They're going to be the same height as a lot of kids across the world. So just so happens that there's a kid there. That doesn't mean that this is the kid, but look at other things like outside of that. Like I said, uniform color from head to toe. Why? You can look at the car right here and see the different details in the car. You can see the trim, you can see the mirror, you can see the rims being a different color, the tire. You can see all that within something that's in the same image. Why is this thing ghostly white? Why is it one color from head to toe? Why can't you differentiate any part of the body from anything else if this is supposed to be a kid with underwear on his head? Let's common sense, dude. Common sense and logic will answer a lot of the questions that you have. And I think if you can get past that first, just the fact that you should be able to see details if this is a person wearing clothes. You should be able to see the detail there because it's in the car that's next to it. So this should give you a barometer.
I'm just saying that side view on the car gives you a side view of the creature.
Well, even forget all that because
But I'm just
but here's the
I
thing: you would have to look so far into reflections. I'm just saying, just without because that would be the next step. Definitely look at that. But there's nothing in the pic. There should be clear definition. If you even have a ring camera, you've seen. I can show you my ring camera right now and how it films people. I can show you how it filmed when I showed you the orb video. That was a completely dark room with no
I
light.
thought that was a bug at first. I'm not gonna
Right.
lie, because it looked like a bug up on the screen. But then it was like when it was over by the cabinet or whatever, it's like, yeah, it didn't look like a bug so much then. But
See, but this
who
is what I'm
knows?
saying. This is what I'm saying. Until someone can show otherwise, there's no reason to believe that it's the kid. Show me the evidence that it's the kid. What's the evidence that you have? That's what I want to know. And
I
I'm
said one you'd have to put him on stilts. You'd have to put stilts on the end of his legs to make those weird proportions on the legs. But even then, what is he wearing that's a solid white?
right.
Because I didn't even see any difference on the car. It just looks like solid white from the side.
Well,
So
and that's the thing. So here's you have a side by side of the kid with clothes on and the kid. So what's the where how show me how this ends up being that besides the size of the object is pretty
well,
close to the
number
but
one, and
nothing else.
these two images side by side, the kid is closer to the back tire, and the creature is closer to the front tire. So they're already the creature's already bigger than the kid. Number one, and the kid's closer to the camera than the creature next to the car.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
See
perspective
see
is
the difference there? There's your perspective. Use that car tire. You
well
got
that's
that
what I'm
front car
saying.
tire in both images. Now
I
look at
think
the size of the
I think
now
what you walk away with on this, yeah, and if he was naked, he'd be the same color. And I understand, and I get that, Zaddy. Now these people were saying that this kid has underwear on his head.
there's no butt cheeks on that creature.
There is
Where's the
no
butt
butt.
cheeks? If he was running naked, you'd be seeing butt cheeks.
But like I said, you should see it shouldn't be a white blob like this. It shouldn't be one uniform color, period. It just shouldn't be. Now,
Unless it's some albino
if there's
lives in the
any
cave.
if there's any what other way that you can show the comparison or point out some things, and you can't just say it's the size of the kid because, like I said, you got gray aliens that people report that are the size of kids. You have all sorts of other, and if you believe in any of that, then size wouldn't be anything that you would make a comparison to. You'd use something else. So
You know what the weirdest thing I seen in Colorado was?
let's think
You
it
know
through.
you
Right?
know you know what the weirdest thing I seen in Colorado was? Was a
What's that?
spider that was silver. It was like silver in color, and when I smashed it, it had like silver blood in it.
You said on what? What was that?
It was a spider
Mm-hmm.
that was like silver. It looked silver. Like it was like looked metallic. And when I smashed it, its blood looked metallic.
Oh, that's bananas. I never heard that. That was bananas.
I only seen one time in my life, and that was in Colorado. Couldn't tell you where in Colorado. Probably Denver area, maybe Colorado Springs area. One of those two places, because that was
Yeah.
where I spent majority of my time in Colorado.
Well,
But yeah,
here's where I'm going to leave this. Like I said, show me the proof. Don't just say it. Use more than your words. Just take some time. Take some time to look at it. Right. Don't just look at it on the fly and make your conclusion. That's part of the problem, right? You haven't vetted it. When did you vet it? Take time to vet your sightings. Anyone brings you a sighting, if anyone brings you a photo of something or anything, just don't buy it right away. Vet it, look through it, process it, make sure it is what it is, and then make your determination. But when you're able to just immediately come to a conclusion, that shows signs of of a closed mind, a closed-minded approach, and not an open-minded approach. I think I've pointed to you too many different variations to go against it being a kid, but then the people that say it is a kid haven't given anything to show that it is. That's the same issue that we deal with in our community with skeptics, right? Skeptics just say David Grusher's lying just to say he's lying. They don't really have any proof of it, right? And we ask them to provide proof, but show that he's a liar. Don't just say that he is. So it's no different in this case here. Any of the data that you ever get or we get as a community should always, and that's why you keep a skeptical approach, because it should be vetted. It should not just be taken as what it's being told it is. So even though I'm telling you this, your thing that you would do on your own would be to take the same video, break it down, and be like, this is why it's a kid. See, this is why it's a kid. Or nah, that nah, I can't. No, I can't find anything that's aside from the size. Yeah, it's just there's nothing
those
about
legs are just weird. No
it. Yeah,
matter
and
how you look at it, those legs are weird on that thing.
at least do that. That's all I'm saying. At least do that. Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know if Mick West has ever looked at it, but you don't invite Inside Edition and you don't bring those people back to your house multiple times. If you knew this was your kid with underwear on his head, last thing you would do is allow Inside Edition to film your kid with underwear on his head. Just using logic and common sense would say that. Why would she say agreed to the interview for them to come back? They had already been to the house twice before this and done a segment. Why would she let them come there and disprove that this is what it was by allowing them to put underwear on her kid's head so that we could be like, oh, the jig is up. It was the kid the whole time. Why would she do that? And use common sense in this case is what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense for her to do that. So that alone would tell you that likely they were being genuine in their report of this story. And you got to dig further into it, man. You can't just, that's the problem. We'll never get evidence of anything if all you do is pass something off because it seems too good to be true. You may have video of something that is inhuman walking clearly down someone's driveway. Imagine that. Do the work to say that it isn't that, because I would love to see it because I'm open to it. But I have done the work and looked at it. I've broken this down frame by frame. I've done that footwork. And I cannot find anything within what I have viewed that points to this being the kid. So I'll tell you that. Now do some work and you show me that it is the kid, and then that's where we'll go with it. But until then, I've spent time and effort in breaking it down and literally looking at, I have pictures each frame of this video, the raw video, and there's nothing in there that says that this is actually, there's too many things that says it isn't the kid. So you got to open your eyes up, man. You might be looking at something that you're passing off is fake and it's real. And then imagine that. Imagine if you determine after you've done your vetting, if you determine, hey, you know what? This is weird. This might be. Imagine your perspective on what it is you're watching if you spend some time to actually look at it and vet it. That's what I'm saying. That's what we got to do in this community. We got to do more of that. Too many people armchair quarterbacking, look at a video for 15 seconds, like that's fake. Well, how are you? Are you the visual expert? Or you like what credentials do you have to just call it fake without any vetting of the data? Can't ask for other people to vet data if you won't do it yourself. That's what I'll leave you with tonight. So yeah, we're about to hit the 2-hour mark here. I think we did all right tonight, man. So here's what I want to do, because this whole thing was to talk about the new show. So let me go ahead and talk about that again real quick before we get out of here. We got a new show that I have put together. I'm not trying to. It's definitely already fully in motion, but it's called My Experience with the Phenomena. And what it's really designed to do, let me bring this up here again. This show is just really designed for viewers like yourself to just come on and talk about your experience with the phenomena, because those stories count and might resonate with other people who have similar stories, right? So this would be, more of a story thing instead of an interview, even though there's going to be questions that'll be asked. But I'm trying to make it to where it's just like each episode you watch is a compelling story about someone's interaction with the phenomena. And that's kind of what we're going to get out of that. Let me go ahead and run the intro for it, as everyone has seen, but I like it. And I think it's coming along. So let me go ahead and run that real quick. And this will be the new show. This is what we're working with, the new series.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home. It sucks, I've had enough, I don't wanna feel the stuck under the rug, all my problems that I shove.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
And there you have it. That is the new show, My Experience with the Phenomena. I think it can work. And I'm definitely going to do everything I can to make it work. And it's going to count on viewers like yourself to, be ready to come up and talk about your experience with the phenomena. You know what I mean? For some people that have come on here, it's been their first time ever talking about it ever publicly. And if you're uncomfortable with doing it initially, I understand. But I do have a few, I don't want to spoil it, but I do have a few viewers you guys already know that are already signed up to do this. So don't be afraid to do it. You know what I mean? I think when you look back on it, with the quality and everything that's going to be put into it, it's going to be definitely something that you'll want to share with other people. So consider doing it. In the community tab on my page here, I have this posted, the advertisement. And let me actually click here. I have the advertisement posted, and you can leave a message or respond to it. And actually, that way I know that you're interested. You can hit me up on Facebook Messenger, and we can talk further and kind of set up a time and go ahead and get it going. So, Magneticus, thank you so much for coming in, man.
No problem.
It's been a while talking to you, man. So you already know what time it is. We're gonna reconnect and do this again. So have a great rest
I know.
of your
It's like every time lately it's been like when you were on, I was asleep, and then I wake up at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and there's like nobody around. Like, damn it!
And but
So
here's the
I'd
thing:
watch the replays.
I've been juggling, the after hours
Well,
and
yeah, spaced
making
out
time to
radio.
come over here. Yeah, so I think right now I'm kind of set up for after hours. If you see, I have shows booked through next month, in the next
Month.
month, into
Yep.
July. So because of that, that's
And I keep
freeing me
watching you
up.
moving the bar on the Scientology.
You see that? It's coming, man. I got to do
Oh,
it.
I
So it's
know, I know, I know, I know.
all right,
Some of
man.
us
Well,
have got to
Jill,
be.
I'll talk to you soon, dude. You already know.
Sounds good. All
All
right.
right, later.
Until next.
All right, guys. So just show some love, support, man. I'm just here, trying to move the needle and share this with friends. And please consider coming on yourself. I mean, it'd be cool to have your experience kind of put in perpetuity for people to see for all time. You kind of get it off your chest, and that's therapeutic in itself. And that's the direction we need to go. So we're going to go ahead and get ready to get up out of here. This is the go home music. I just want to thank everybody for coming in tonight and sharing time, right? We just got 3 hours off on the after hours. Then we come and do where are we at? 2 hours here at the Social Dig. So we're 5 hours in right now, and you guys have stuck with it the entire time. So much love to you guys, to Mothman, LVL, all you guys out there that came from the after hours over here to continue the conversation. You know how we do it. We're going to get it done more consistently. Like I said, this is a new show. The late night show, I still want to keep that and then kind of sprinkle that in. The regular Social Dig show, I still want to keep that. So we're going to balance all this stuff, and it'll serve, each one will serve its own purpose. And I appreciate you guys coming along for the ride. Once again, we hit 400 subs. And I'm so just happy about that, man. I just can't, thank you guys more for showing your love and support. And there's no paywalls here. You know how we get down here. It's all about progressing humanity, the positive progression of humanity, as we say on each and every show. And that's the way it's going to be. If the conversation doesn't move the needle, then why are we having it, right? If it isn't going to get us where we're going, why are we wasting our breath on a conversation that does not move the needle? So if you get that, then you kind of get what it is that I do and why I do it. And it'll always remain that way, right? This is for our descendants, grandchildren, great-grandchildren down the line who will benefit from all the work that we're doing today. So appreciate you guys. Once again, like I said, as chat, you guys don't understand how important you are to the conversation. You keep the conversation flowing, especially amongst each other. And as long as we can walk away from this, go out to the world, as we will tomorrow, doing our normal stuff, and kind of just talk to people about it, right? Not everyone's going to come aboard. Not everyone's going to be interested in the topic. But if you've at least delivered the message, you've done your part, right? That's all you can do. So once again, definitely want to thank everybody for coming in and spending time and hanging out, having a conversation. Magneticus, thanks for coming up on stage. You know what I mean? Because if you don't come up on stage, then I'm up here talking by myself, which is cool because I can do that. I can. But, it's all about the interaction with human to human. And that's kind of what we're doing here. So with that being said, one love to everybody. You know where you could find me after hours on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Pacific. You can find me here generally on the Social Dig on Wednesdays as I get things in order. Maybe the show will be done tomorrow for this new show. Keep an eye on the community tab. Keep the notification bell hit, and you will know when we go live. Outside of that, it's been a pleasure, guys. Thanks for coming on into the Social Dig and hanging out. You guys enjoy the rest of your night and take care. Please do so.